What the hell was that? That sound like that could be a sample. That sound like that could be a sample. I could just take that, and go what the fuck, and like put it on the keyboard, like
I
what.
I got a gift of changing my voice, my dude, man. I can answer the phone and fool people multiple times knowing I answer my phone like this and they still be like, "Who's this?" I've gotten arguments with my girlfriend over it before because I could change my voice to different pitches and hide it.
Do you like? Do you sometimes get on and do white customer service voice? Like you like pick up the phone,
I don't think I could hide. I don't think I could hide
hide
the
your
fucking
blackness.
slang, bro.
You know,
Yeah.
pick up the phone and be like, "Hi, this is Chuck with customer service. How are you doing today, ma'am? That's great. I would
There's
love to see that. Could we please one day get you to try and do white customer service
some
voice?"
customer service. Yeah, we'll try them. Let's try it one day.
That's what I want to see that so bad. I really do.
So what the
Oh,
fuck is going on, man? What you been up to?
same old stuff, man. I told you I've been doing FL Studio and working on producing some beats. I guess I'm a rapper now.
Oh,
I
bro,
guess I'm a rapper now.
don't get me started.
Yeah, so we're going to do a I'm gonna be doing a festival here that they're gonna do up in Bellwood, I believe. It's called Mass in the Grass, and it's gonna be pretty tight. I'm opening, and Media Bridging the Gap will probably be there, as always representing. But anyway, yeah, I've been in FL tutorials, and I bought an FL tutorial from a guy named Curtis Beats, and he sold it as a one-time sale thing, right? So I paid like $50 for this course, right?
Mhm.
Online course. So you go on and like there's like a couple little chapters to study through and watch. It's video tutorials on everything. And the other day I get on to go back and like I said, because I've just been going through the chapters, reviewing things, and it just says June 1st, all this will be gone. Like it's done. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I watched the video, and he explains that he's done making the basically he's done making the instrumentals the way that he's making them. Essentially, he's like, yeah, I've had enough of I was gonna say, yeah. He's like, yeah, I've had enough with making these things, like making these tutorials that I'm only selling one time. I'm only making one time sales,
Mhm.
and I'm making a subscription page because he said that people have influenced his page, right, and his business decisions and whatnot. It wasn't very specific. I don't know the guy personally. This is just the video that he made explaining why that, like, the course I just paid for, instead of getting like a year's worth of access to it, right, because it's not always going to be there anymore. He's getting rid of it, and if you want to keep access to it, you're going to have to go subscribe to his new monthly payment service, basically, where like every
So
month he's going to
monthly?
be, yeah, basically every month he's going to be making content and classes and little tutorials and stuff that you get exclusive access to, to do. And he's produced for Kendrick Lamar and stuff like that. And he just basically said, yeah, that this is how it has to be, and explained. And he also said that he was influenced by the passing of Nipsey Hussle, meaning that talking about owning what you have. And I think that's probably what it is that there's people that own the page that he's given too much power to, and he's like, I don't want these people to have power over it, and I'm getting away from it, so I need to go make my own website and make it a subscription service. Which to me, it's a great business decision because you're going to get people that are going to pay for the service, $20 a month or whatever, right? And then they might not even use the service, but you're still going to be guaranteed income because some people might not cancel their subscription. And then versus the one time, like you get that one class, like I took the beginner class that cost me like what, $50, and that's it. You know what I mean? Because like I might not even buy another thing off this guy again. I like the course, but I might not even need that information. Like like I might not need the advanced stuff. But
Yeah, it's just yeah, you can. I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like people like have like everybody does that. Is popping up making tutorials on how to do because that's how you can get some income because and honestly in the game I watch I forget what the channel is but I watch a channel about producers and DJ and all that and the things they have to do to supplement their income because there's no upfront money no more for them. You got to get it on the back end and get it in like through things. So the money is not there like it you is back in the day. So you got to find multiple streams of income to get through your day. So it is a business decision, and like you said, some other people probably involved, and everybody like you learning how to do something and it's the best thing. You got to have some kind of mentor, whether you pay that person to do it or it's somebody you have around you that knows how to do it very well and you learn. You got to have a mentor in some form or fashion, a reference point, and to get information that's up on the new stuff. So I don't see anything wrong with paying. I don't understand the subscription part. I would always think if I was in that position and I was able to get subscribers, I think I would charge like a one time and you'll just be access to my thing and build it that way instead of having people be access for 1 month and then have to keep going back in sales to try to get them to up again. You know what I mean?
Well, where it's gonna just keep subscribing. Yeah, I mean you're gonna have the monthly subscription basis, and I think it's like I said for me, I think that's a money decision. Like I think that's what that really comes down to because when I think about it, because like I said, like when I get Amazon Prime, I might not use all because it's free shipping, free next day shipping basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Amazon Prime, and you might not use that service all the time, but you're still paying them money for it. So they're thinking out of all the times that you're paying monthly for that fee,
Mm-hmm.
you're not using all the information, or we're not paying, you're not using up all the perks and stuff. Basically, is what they're saying. It's like they're still making their money back with the monthly subscription thing, but if they pay you one time, they're not. They don't mean like that's it. They're not making $50, and it's like a sales thing because that means they have to try and keep
They
making
have to
sales.
sales, yeah. And I
Mm-hmm.
would try to live. My sales would be sales combined in the marketing. Like my focus would be on okay. Instead of me getting hustling to get paid subscribers every month, I'm going to give them the one time instead of focusing on only probably getting 50,000 people on a large scale. I'm going to focus on if you'll get all this access for this one time free and try to get my thing up to 300,000 one timers, get the money up front, find an avenue what to do with that money while keep updating this until I can turn it into something else. Because that's what you have to do. There's no
Mm-hmm.
one craft, especially being creative, unless you're
Mm-hmm.
in that. You know what I mean? Unless you have the money, unless you're around a team of people that's gonna let you be creative and they have access to all that shit. So you're gonna have to do a lot of different shit to survive.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it from a Patreon aspect as well. Like we talked about the service Patreon. Well, Patreon you could add levels to it. So what I would be cool is like if you did it where it was a one-time fee, and then you offered monthly subscriptions where you say, hey, if you want access to like this stuff or this stuff, well then here's your monthly subscription for
Put a
that.
tier to it.
But yeah, tiers. But one payment, just that one payment will get you in. But if you want these more advanced things, or you want these more advanced services, or this more cool content, then you need to pay, this monthly subscription. It's kind of like
Yeah.
how TV does it. You know what I mean? Like when you set up for like your TV bill, right? You get the installation fee, and then you pay whatever it is the monthly subscription. If you want more channels or more advanced stuff, then you have to up the amount. Or you want more stuff, you have to up the amount for your subscription every month.
Yeah, it's a way to do it. Everybody's gonna want, you know what I mean? You just gotta find a way that's good for you, that works good for you in that type of business, getting your content out there. Like we're finding, like you just find that avenue that works well for you, whatever you feel comfortable with promoting and how to get the information and how to learn it and how to do it. Because there's so many information places that everybody's got a tutorial.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Everybody. And deciphering which ones they are, you're deciphering, like you said, he produced for Kendrick, or he did this, he did that, is looking at the bio and then saying how in depth is he going to give it to me? Is it worth the money? You know?
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's part of the idea. If you think about it, is like a service or a thing's created, and then people are trying to figure out ways to monetize it, make money. Kind of like how TV networks are now. Back in the day, what we had rabbit ears and stuff. There wasn't really a way. People just bought a TV and then they just streamed it out. You didn't pay like a monthly service. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
the cable companies came, and it's the same thing now. I think we're in the beginning phases of what the internet's going to become. I think where it's going to be like you want to go to this person's channel, you want to watch their shows and stuff, you have to pay a subscription because everybody's going
So
to start
you're
wanting
you're
to
going to be
monetize. I think it's the wave of everybody's wanting to monetize their stuff, and they want a subscription for their package.
right. And it could be it's going to be the same thing. It's just going to transfer over to, like, they're getting rid of devices.
Hmm.
You see what I mean? They're trying to limit to get everything into one space. And then the guard here is, like we said, the TV is heavily guarded. This
Hmm.
internet thing, like we talked about last week, about like them kicking certain people off or whatever. Now we're looking into that. They're trying to do that with this so they can control that content of what we can see and what we can't see, like they do with the cable.
Right.
subscription.
And but those people that you want to see, but those other platforms won't let you see,
Right.
they're gonna set it up where to see their content, well, you're gonna have to pay $20 a month. I think that's the
Yeah.
way it's gonna end up going. Is everybody, if like for your specialized content for what you want to see, I think we're gonna start seeing the slow. I mean, it's not gonna be right away, but I think we're eventually gonna see the slow decrease of all paid or of all non-free content, all the free content that we get on like YouTube and Facebook and blah blah blah. I
Turn
think we're
into
gonna slowly,
subscription.
it's gonna turn to subscription basis where basically whatever you want to watch, you're gonna
Biggest,
have to pay for. So
yeah,
I
biggest
think
juggernaut's
slowly,
gonna win.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the freeness of the internet is slowly going away,
Yeah.
and
And
I
it's gonna have you're gonna have people like what we envision on doing is building a company with Mediated Media is that we're not going to be we're basically using ourselves as proof of concept right now is to
mm,
attract people in here. So and we obviously we do this too, but we want to get other people to create to help them in their creation of what they're doing and
mm,
become that platform for them where or another outlet for them to put their stuff on and what and generate and find a way to monetize that. That's what it's going to be. You're going to have multiple TV channels
yeah,
or
exactly.
companies or media companies that will have different types of whatever that like Complex, like Revolt. Those ones are already set right now. They don't have all the content they need, but they're already set there to be one of those like TV channels.
Yeah, basically, and they're just like look, and they're basically giving people that are creative the opportunity. Well, hey, you want to create some content for us? Well, here we'll give you a budget. Here's your show. You got a good enough
Go
idea. Yeah,
right.
go make it happen.
Yeah. And I kind of like if they don't put the restrictions on it like they do with the television. If you can freely go build your company without them, you know what I mean, having all those kind of restrictions and rules and just leave it the way it is, I think personally. What do you think? Do you think it should be left? We have to take the good with the bad, as long as it's not something like I'm gonna go out and kill people. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But the good and the bad should still be allowed on to have this open platform. I think.
Do you are we talking social media? Like should it be allowed on social media or just the internet in
Just
general?
in the internet in general.
Yeah, I think we should take the good with the bad. I think we're gonna have to. Like I said, you're always gonna. The internet should just be a place for free speech. Where I mean, granted, it's all to the platform if they want to put it up there, like they want to allow that kind of speech. But at the same time, like I think that we need to have that balance of people saying this and people saying that on the other
It's
on
great.
the spectrum. Because
It's
I mean,
great.
because that's where speech is now. You know what I mean? Because freedom, like speech, isn't like go. Because yeah, we all have freedom of speech, right? The thing is,
Mhm.
speech is now at the point where it is completely over the internet. Do you know? Just think about that for a second, right? So like your freedom of speech is now being limited because you speak with people online more so than people face to face out in public half the time.
Yeah. Do you? Okay, that brings up a question. I probably could segue us into another one, but do you think like people um are you getting the real person when they're on the computer? Do you think they're being a person that they're not on the computer, like they'll be more aggressive, or do you think it'll go the other way where you're not going to get the true information if you were meeting with them face to face or whatever, getting the true feeling in that
Are
manner?
you so you're asking if how I feel of so like saying like do we feel like people behind the keyboard are the same person they are in person?
Right. And if you're getting all your information from the internet, you're talking and conversating over the internet. Are we getting at where is it that type of thing where if you're face to face, maybe that information wouldn't have came out, or that toughness, or what do we call them, the
Yeah, the
keyboard
keyboard
warriors?
keyboard warriors. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I'm so tough. Like look at me. Yeah. I
Right.
get what you're saying. Well, yeah, I think no. I think there's a lot of times where like we get a false bravado that we can say what we want because we are behind the keyboard.
Hmm.
And I feel like we are different whenever we're like face to face with people because like I mean like but then again like my profile to me is like where I post like my personal shit. Like most people I walk by in a day that I talk to face, they don't know nothing about me because like when I do delivery I go in people's houses, I'm like, hi, how are you, like it's just like it's a superficial conversation, like yeah, I'm here to put this in your house, and I mean you're here because I'm doing that, like that's why we're
Just
doing this.
two people being polite.
Yeah, right, pretty much. And you know, we might talk about things and our opinions on things as we joke around as I'm taking off doors and stuff. But you never get that to that point. Now, like say like on my Facebook page today, like I shared this thing where it was like a meme about this kid, or it was like it said it was a joke about how in movies when you're 7 years old you'd watch a movie and it would say you slept with her, and then 7-year-old me would be like, damn, she really slept in bed with another guy.
What
like
the hell?
like you know what I mean, like you like whenever like you'd watch a movie for like it was like PG-13, you're like, I can't believe you slept with him. As like younger kids we would be like, damn, I can't believe she slept in another guy's bed.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, right, but we wouldn't get it. But
So
yeah.
being out on the road, but hold on for a second. You said something interesting.
Mhm.
So being out, you said that the conversation, being out there delivering those things, is never goes anywhere. Have you ever came across a hot milf situation, bro?
Oh my God! Listen! Don't joke
Have you?
about that. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about two things here, real quick. Okay, so first off, conversations with the customers can sometimes do get more in depth than like superficial, because like you know what I mean, like you'll meet people and they'll be talking about their struggles and stuff and like whatever. Like I've talked to many old people and single people that you'll meet and they'll be like, yeah, like my life's pretty much shit, and it's like I feel for you. Especially when you meet the older. This is what's great about it though, is you get to meet like the older people, like usually the people that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You know, those older people. Sometimes really old ladies and old guys, and you really get to learn a lot about like how people in the community are really
Bro,
feeling
we
about
want to
shit.
know about the fucking MILF, man.
Hold
Is there
on,
any MILF situation?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Now, that being said, so yeah, the MILF situation has happened where you go into a house and you're just like, like, oh my God, like this, and they're like, oh yeah, let me
That's
put
what
this.
you do. You ain't
Yeah,
try to
no, no,
rap.
no, no. That's just how you feel.
Uh,
But anyway, like I said, is like me and my buddy go in the house and we're just like that's all I could say. Just wow. And then she's talking to us and like you know it had all the makings, bro. It had all the ingredients of
for
something you'd see
porno.
on Pornhub. That's all I'm saying. It had all the ingredients. Not
For an
it didn't mix
episode of
it didn't mix
Pornhub.
quite right, but it had all the ingredients. I'll say that.
Bro, well, I've done it, but I did it for a 501c3 back in the day, helping them get it off the ground, delivering some furniture to low income places. But if I was at doing your job at this point in my life, bro, that would be my objective every day.
Yeah, just being like next stop, like you'd call the next stop. Hey, we're not gonna make it. Why? Because I'm
Yeah,
about to do this.
I'm having a problem installing. Just
Installing. Yeah, right.
hold on for a minute. I'll be
The
there.
pipes need cleared out. There's dirt in the
Yeah,
lines.
I
There's
had
dirt
to
in the
move some
lines.
piping around because that would be all. But that would be ultimately. Would that be the ultimate, or would that be the ultimate thing to have happen on your job, or just coming in and finding a treasure, a safe full of money or something, and the house
Right.
is empty, and there's just a bag of money just sitting there? Which
Yeah.
one would be?
I don't know. The treasure thing's pretty unlikely, but I mean, like, I don't know because I feel like if you did that, like, you know what I mean, like you found a milf, like that whole situation, I feel like that's pretty legendary. And you know what? You do it with another delivery driver, so that means like you would be in a three-way, which would be
Oh, bro,
insanity.
is it? Oh, it can't be. You would go in with your dude.
Listen. My one buddy at
You
work,
go in with your dude.
I said it has to be done. I was like, like if that ever happens, if that situation ever came up, it has to be done. We have to do it.
I
We
think you
have to.
might have to, man. I would be like, yo, bro, eyes fucking turn. I don't
That's what
know.
I'm saying. Like you
There's
just have to
to
make.
be some rules,
That's
though.
what I'm saying. We talked about it before. Like we set it up. We said it has to happen. It's like we set the ground rules. Like now, if it ever
Be like,
comes
what
up,
would you
we
be
know.
comfortable?
We know. We know now. We have.
Bro, we
We
used to
got the
run.
ground rules
We
set
used to.
up.
We used to call them trains back in the day, bro. Well,
Choo choo. Run a
it
train.
had happened when we were like in high school. Yeah, just run a train on a girl. They call them trains. So you got multiple dudes just hanging out.
Oh God.
I've been through it,
This
man.
conversation devolved so quickly. We started out so intellectual, like so high, well thought out, cohesive, and we're just like, man, what would you do if you pulled up and just bagged
There's
some
a
milk,
milk.
you and your buddy? We ran a train.
But this is what our shit is about. We can be professional,
And
and
then we
we're
can be
being
unprofessional.
unprofessional. unprofessional, and we're just having fun with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, so what do we think about that? We had that conversation a little bit earlier
The
about like
keyboard
I
warriors.
can't stand it. I catch myself saying some things that I might not say if I was face to face, not in the sense of like threatening people or something like that, but just something I probably would have rather said face to face and it would have got more across or wouldn't have been so threatening or something like that.
Hmm.
People like that, I mean, like you said, you reached out for somebody that you seen on one of these sites going crazy about abortion and all that, and then when you said, hey, well, let's have the conversation, let's sit down, here's a
Oh,
platform
here
to
we.
have the conversation, and they just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, right, right. I don't want to mention names or anything, but I do think it's funny. Is like there's people out there that'll like this abortion thing is blown up, right? And I wanted to get somebody on to talk about it, and I still will. It might not just be tonight. I'll probably end up finding her and getting her interviewing her throughout the week. I'll find somebody, but the thing is it just drives me crazy. It's like you'll see these people, you'll watch their Facebook posts or whatever, they'll be like, men don't have an opinion about abortion, blah 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 blah, or and like they'll like say some shit like shut the fuck up, blah blah blah, you don't know what you're talking about, yada yada yada, and then they're stating they know what they're talking about, and then you message them, say, hey, like, you seem like you have a pro-choice opinion and blah blah, would you want to come on our show and talk about pro-choice, and just talk about how you feel about abortion and pregnancy laws and all that stuff. No, I don't want my name out there, even though you're on a public platform blasting this shit where the whole internet can see it. Anybody who has a Facebook can see it. No, I don't want my name out there, and
You don't want that face to go with that name.
yeah, right. And it's like, but your face, the little logo, like right here, like hold on, let me move it, right there. See my beautiful face? That's my Facebook logo right there, and right to my left of that, or my right of that. I'm not good at maneuvering my face around. The post is like right over here, and yeah, you can see my face, and you can see that my post was right there. What are you gonna like if someone calls you out on saying some crazy shit on Facebook, right, Coach? Like me and you said something. Are they gonna look at you and say that's you, and you get to go, nah? How do you know that's me? I can just I'm catfishing. I'm hacking this account. It's not me. Like that. Is that how you would deny that you said something that was messed up? I mean, not saying
you
that,
you
that they said anything messed up. I'm just saying, is that how you would do it?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the scenario. I'm sure people do it. They just deny it because shit gets hacked every day.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean? They would just try to deny it, but it wouldn't be hard to trace it back. So that would probably be your knee jerk answer, your knee
Mm,
jerk lie out of your mouth if you're not, thinking about it. But
right.
I don't know. I just think people are like people. It's easy for people. I've been around it like ever since texting and even phone calls. A person will talk that crazy to you,
Shit.
but
And
when
then
you see them,
it's like,
you know
oh,
what I
how's it
mean?
going? Yeah, yeah, no,
It's a
no.
whole different scenario. And that's the climate where it is. It's everybody's a freaking keyboard gangster. Everybody's, a warrior. They're
Bop, bop,
tough.
bop.
Yeah, until you see that person
STFU. Bop, bop, bop.
and it's just a whole different scenario. Like, yo, what were you thinking? why did you run your mouth like that? And you look at it like this with the internet, you're able to talk to anybody and anywhere and just sit there and get those people that are just basically trolling
Mm-hmm.
also. And I think that's what most of the warriors are to face the warriors is they're just trolling and they're just I think it's funny and on to some serious matters, which you know what I mean, that maybe somebody had some effect to and they want to just beat the shit out of one of them trolls.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, no, and but the thing I just found funny was just that these people are on a platform constantly talking about the thing, and then they don't want to speak on it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, hey, we're gonna give you a platform. Come on, talk about this. Well, I don't feel like I don't feel comfortable. It was like you're texting right now. Maybe you're not good with cameras, whatever, and whatever. But I even said as like to the person, I was like, if you, it's fine. We will turn those off and yada yada. You know what I mean? Like I'll even use a fake name. I just wanted somebody who was a woman who had an opinion. You didn't have to have a name or a face or nothing. Just hey, are you a woman with an opinion about abortion? Okay, basically what it was, because
Yeah.
I'm not, because I, like I said, like it's something like I mean we'll talk about, and I'm comfortable talking about, but like it's one of those things where like
You
like
want
from
you want the
if you
person
see,
it's affecting.
yeah, yeah. If you see people like me and you talking about it, like how's a woman gonna sympathize with that, or how is someone, because it's we're not.
Because we don't really know.
You
We
and
can
I are
just
never
give our
getting pregnant. Let's put it that way. You and I are never getting pregnant, Coach.
I don't know. Give technology a little time, Dev. You might be able to pop. You might be able
That's
to
it.
pop an
Hey,
alien
that's how they're
baby
gonna
out or
fix
some
abortion.
shit.
That's how they're gonna fix abortion. The scientists are gonna put things in our arm, and they're gonna say now men can get pregnant, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be like, well, hey, all of a sudden, hey, abortions. We should make those legal now.
Bro, there is people. There is dudes getting pregnant. They're out there. They do some
Hold on,
kind
hold
of
on.
crazy operation.
Uh,
What the fuck?
it's not in the right tone. I wanted like a dark piano where I could go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I want no parts of that. I think that's just like the craziness, and I think that's what everybody's fear is like. You from time they always manipulate people. They take people and manipulate them into a situation that they want to like test crash dummies, basically
basically.
test dummies.
Right.
Test dummies and just do things to. Now, do you think a person like is there like do we'll speak from the scientists and the advancement of technology. We'll just take the money part out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think scientists and do you think that is there some kind of like evil doctorness to every kind of person that like wants to see progression in technology or the human body or trying to find things out about the human body? Do you think a scientist has that like crazy doctor like scheming type thing, like I want to fucking get this done, I want to prove this, so I'll do some questionable shit to get it done?
I don't think every scientist, but I think that there's probably scientists out there that have that evil, like not the evil. Here's the thing that would make evil scientists. They don't know that they're evil. They just have this thing they want to do so bad. Like I want to know if men can shoot babies out of their penises or some crazy fucked up thing, and then they'll do whatever it takes to try and come to that conclusion or hypothesis or make it happen. Just like how you see evil scientists in like the movies and shit. Though they say like I'm gonna vaporize the world just because I want to see if I can do it.
Yeah, and
Like
I
one of
think
those.
even the good ones have that side. What will make a person evil is if they act on it,
Yeah.
how intense they act on it. But just being a curious scientist or whatever in that realm, in that scientist and technology, and knowing, like having ideas and just that inner self of saying I want to accomplish that, what they would do.
To
I
do
think
it.
everybody has that. They just don't act on it, but
Yeah.
it comes up in them.
But you gotta think about it too. Is like everything's a slow progression of like trial and error and everything. I think.
Mhm.
I mean, you gotta think of. I always joke around about. We gotta thank the people that tried all the fucking berries and died. Like all the generations of people back when we were like primitive, that like ate different kinds of berries and that were poisonous and like died or like got diarrhea and shit from them. Like, yeah, don't eat those. Do you know what I mean? Like they just saw them one day and like tried them out. And I feel like that's how the slow progression is now. Where like when they're making drugs and stuff, and when they're making fucking food nowadays, or because like now they're making like tofu burgers, or not tofu burgers, but like those veggie burgers that are literally burgers made of vegetables that actually taste like burgers. You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
could.
And I feel like
Yeah,
it's the trial and error process where like they test it, people eat it, and it goes, well, yeah, it's really it's doing this to them, but like some things are as good as they're gonna get. I think like that's not I mean as good as they're gonna get, but I think certain things always come with consequences. Like you eat too much chicken, if you do certain amount of this. So whenever you apply that to say creating things as a scientist, right? I think that same principle kind of applies where like you're gonna get something, you're gonna think you have it as good as you can, and then there's gonna be something where it's like, I kind of goofed that up, probably should tweak this a little bit. But that's the thing about science, is it's a self-correcting process. So like that's why it's the way it is.
yeah. I think people. Yeah, I just believe truly. Like if you're in that realm, you have some sick ass thoughts and some secrets going on in your fucking life. That's what you do for a living, and you're pushing the envelope. Especially if you get some money behind you, where
Yeah.
you could do some weird shit. You could do some weird fucking tests. You know what I mean? And the justification that they make for it is what I was trying to get at. Like, I think that's what happens all the time to
Mm-hmm.
things like I seen something about Area 51 where this lady wrote a book. She's got a famous book or something. I can't remember her name, even though we don't like to promote people anyway. So
Yeah, right, because you ain't paid for it.
but she wrote
You
a
ain't
book
paid for
about
it.
that, and she said, "Huh?
Said she
Yeah."
ain't paid for
And she
it.
said that they were manipulating like slow children. She was getting this from a source that was in there, like slow people or people with mental diseases, and manipulating them to look like aliens, and to just see what people's reactions would be, or what they were doing like this. Yeah, it's a famous writer. She wrote it, and she had some intel from people that worked in the CIA and that were around that time, and just, one of those type books.
Yeah.
So it was just very interesting. Like, I think that's what they do. I think they find, you got to be able to test it. How are you going to test anything without testing it on a human? You can go do a trial that is affecting you, a smoking trial, uh, a weed trial, anything. You could medicine. They're doing trials on humans. So just imagine what they're doing off the books.
Yeah, true. Well, I would say Area 51. Well, I wanted to get back to what you're saying about yeah, like scientists like having that crazy thing. I think it all depends on the end goal of the person who is the scientist. Like certain people, if they want the money, like if they're trying to make a big breakthrough for the money and the fame and notoriety, yeah, they're gonna do whatever the fuck they can to get it. But there's some people that just like I know a lot of biologists, people that are studying to be biologists. They care about the animals and the environment and all that stuff. The end goal for them isn't like, oh yeah, I want to be rich and famous, have something I'm going to sell. It's like I just want to know, I want to be a part of the world of knowing about these things. Like I want to be in that atmosphere. You know what I mean? I want to be a part of that kind of
Right.
world.
But you
But
never know
but
what
I,
hand you're dealt. That's a bridge in the gap
yeah,
moment
but
right
yeah.
there, because a person, you're saying, I'm not going to assume, I'm going to ask, like, but at what age is this person that you're saying wants to be a biologist? How old are they?
Right.
Like your age?
Right. No, no. Well, I'm talking about one of the professors that I knew from school that I did bio with. And then also there's a couple of people that I know, like one was going for biomed, which that's money involved in it, right? Because when you're going for biomed, you're working about how you can make chemicals out of natural, like how you can make medications and stuff, biomed, out of like, the stuff around you, like the healing properties in like plants and uh, some plants and animals and stuff like that. How you can make medication stuff out of it. And then you have other people that want to study bio, but they want to study like just the animals, like because they want to conserve them. You know what I mean? Like save the whales, save the trees, kind of stuff. And they want to know how animals tick or why they do this or why they do that.
Yeah.
But the thing
Well,
is,
there's different. Yeah, we're not saying there.
the thing about bioscience is very specialized because like there's gonna be some guy, like there's gonna be like one guy in the world who's like the whale whisperer. Do you know what I mean? Like he studied his whole life to be like, I wonder how whales talk to each other. And then there's gonna be someone who's the whale, whatever, where he studies a completely different aspect of like the anatomy and biology of whales and their morphology, like how the populations are evolving over time. Like it's weird. It's so like especially with science, it's so specialized usually because that's the only way you get anywhere. If you want to make money in science, you have to be specialized. Like you have to be like a specialist in a certain
It's just
specific
like
thing.
anything, like in
Yeah,
that
right.
manner. It's like anything in that manner. You have to focus your life's work
Mm-hmm.
on something.
Something, right.
You know what I mean? And then you come across other things and then you might collaborate with other people that need your information, and they have the information to do something bigger on a
Mm-hmm.
bigger scale. And I just think in a manner, like, say, like your passion, like that's your passion. If a person, and they know how things work and how they can manipulate cells and all that type stuff, if they came across the solution during their time of their life's work, their passion, and it was against the law to do it, like,
So that's what I was trying to point out is I think yeah that person's going if that's their life work and it comes to that, I think
what are
that
they
they're
gonna
gonna
do?
do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna try
Yeah.
and push forward with it, or they're gonna exhaust all options until they come to the
Until they have
conclusion,
no choice.
choice
Yeah,
to do it.
they'll go pick it and go to court about it and stuff like that. Um, and then whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna do it because of, like, they know how they got that, and that has to be a powerful thing to know how, really have the highest information on, let's say, how the body works and how
Mm-hmm.
they can manipulate it and what they can do to a body, if knowing the body from head to toe of a person, those common denominators that everybody have, where they can affect it in physical form or mental form. You know what I mean? That's kind of, think about it. You got to be a mad person to have that kind of power in your thoughts. Like, oh my gosh, like every day you could look at a person and say, I could like, you know what I mean? I can make this happen to you for the knowledge that I know of in that like manipulating your cells or whatever you want to say.
Innards, basically.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say this is just a little breaking thing here popped up on my phone that after Big Ben apologizes for the comments that ruined the A-B relationship in Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown then tweeted afterward, throwing shade, saying Two Face.
When did this happen? Just now?
Just now, like
Ben apologized to AB.
25 minutes ago. Yeah, it says Ben, sorry, Big Ben is sorry about comments that ruined the Antonio Brown relationship. And then he said Two Face, meaning like I think Antonio's mad because behind the scenes, like Ben's just apologizing to appease the people, I guess. And I mean that's what AB's probably thinking, I'm assuming. And he's it's a public thing. And he's like, yeah, like that's not what you really mean though.
Yeah, I mean it's something that you shouldn't be talking about publicly anyway.
Yeah,
you know
what I mean? It's like it's so beat. Do you know how many? I don't know, man. I don't really want to get into an AB
dude, they're grown men with millions of dollars. It's nothing for them to say, hey, let's go fucking meet up somewhere and let's talk about this like men. We're not talking about, it doesn't have to be no, oh, I'm going to fuck you. None of that shit. Just say, hey, man, let's talk about this face to face without playing these games. That's for both of them. Like, that's the era we live in, Dev. Yeah. We live in that era where we were just talking about, where somebody will say something and
they'll never squash it. They'll never come meet up and talk about it. Which, honestly, it might be one of those things where, like, because I understand that position. It might be a thing that you can't squash. Like, you guys have just been so, vindictive to each other, and no one wants to admit that they did anything wrong. Both of them don't want to admit they did anything wrong in the situation. And it's probably like that, because there's people out there that I know that are just grown children. I mean, they're 30, 40 years old. They're kids. They're just kids.
Oh, yeah. They're kids. And then if you got where they're at, when they're that type of line of work where you always feel like you're number one, and you got two guys that are getting at the end of their career too. So
right, trying to win ships.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? There's no way that would, bro. There's no way that I wouldn't be able to work that situation out. If it was that bad, where I had to quit on my team, come on, man. I don't know about that without me having a conversation with these people and saying, hey, if you don't want, that's what we're going to do. I'm still going to finish this game, but I'm out. And after that, I would just be like, I wouldn't give nobody I would just get in a situation for myself.
Right. But I mean, the only thing I saw whenever he left, like around the time the trade was going on, the Antonio Brown trade, he spoke to the Rooneys. And that's pretty much all he did. Like, he just spoke to the owners, and talked about it. And then that's when they really decided to do the trade, because he didn't talk to Tomlin, he didn't talk to Ben, and I would assume why he had problems with both of them, from what I understand. So he just went to the Rooneys and said, hey, like, I'm not happy here anymore, and that they came to the conclusion that we'll trade you.
It's a little pussy shit that shouldn't have happened. Like, you guys had the keys. You could have been winning Super Bowls if you guys would have got on the exact same page and stop bitching. And that's the part of that process. I get tired of it. Like, there's a dude that, like, I get updates, like a Pittsburgh, he covers Steelers football. That's all he covers. He can't let it go. Every time a tweet comes out, he's like so out of control, like he's cussing in his supposed to be some kind of, and he's not claiming he's one of us, bro. Like, we're putting out a professional shit. Yeah. But the whole thing will be a professional post until AB or Bell, something comes up on them, and he'd be like, these fucking traders, they have no heart, and just posted all this shit. I'm like, yo, dude, let it go. Let's talk about what Juju's gonna do this year.
Antonio is the Donald Trump of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not our wideout. He's not our wideout. It's like, well, no, he's not. He's the Raiders wideout. Stop talking about him. That's what I'm saying. Like, stop talking about the dude. He's no longer there. Like, who gives a fuck? Like,
I'm trying to move forward.
If Antonio Brown says anything, like, that's how I'm going to be, like, as a Raiders fan with him on my team. I don't give a fuck whatever he says. What's he doing on the field? I don't care. To me, It doesn't bother me. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's causing a beef in the locker room with the Raiders players, I don't care, right?
Yeah.
But say if Antonio left and went to, like, a trade next year to the Falcons, right? I no longer care. Like, he's not on my team anymore. I don't care about him anymore. Do you know what I mean?
What it is, man.
And that's what I'm saying is, like, you have Pittsburgh Steelers fans that are so butthurt about him leaving and stuff. I think what it is they know that he's a really good player, and they're just mad about the whole situation. They want to be mad about something. And also too, a lot of the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I don't know, like the people around here, they're those conservative type people. And when they see someone who's like a rich guy who leaves the game and leaves his team,
like just shut up and play the game.
man, like you get paid millions of dollars.
$1 million.
Colin
They don't know
Kaepernick's
that
a piece of
they don't.
shit.
They don't know that they're giving them something like when they sign to the NFL that says, "Hey, instead of donating to Oregon, can you donate your brain to the NFL so we can study the damage that's happening to it or what goes on with those things?" It's the price people have to pay. They make that decision. They get paid well for it. I'm always going to say, I wonder if I was working for a minimum wage, if it wasn't safe for me, if it wasn't, you got to get yourself in a position. It's a job to them.
Yeah,
you know what
right.
I mean? It's a job. You get a paycheck every week. Now, the difference between our paychecks and their paychecks
Checks is a little bigger. It's just it's right. That, like we talked about when we did that show a long time ago. All it means is you got into the wrong profession because those players hit the lottery.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
we
mean?
did do one on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
right.
it's a big thing where people were complaining about the kneeling, and people were complaining to make money, just shut up and play. Oh, you're playing a kid's game, and we were just listening to how hard it is to play
Get
that
to
game.
the NFL, to get to the just the yeah, not even talking about the health risks, just to get to the NFL. Just
Yeah.
getting there is impressively hard.
It's
Stupid
like
hard.
0.08%.
Yeah. Now we were gonna talk about Alabama a little bit and the abortion law. Do you think? I mean, like I said, I don't want to get too in depth into it because, like I said, I'd like to get a female opinion on it. But do you think like it's crazy to ban like all abortions, well, up to 6 weeks? Because the problem is how do you even know? Like most women, they don't even know they're pregnant until at least 8. You know, and
I
they could,
think I really think like there should be a time limit on it. Obviously,
right.
I don't think that the interesting. I think it's just one of those things like with the people that voted against it were all men,
Hmm.
older statue men in this type of business. I mean, in the politic game and like conservative, and just telling a female what she should do with her body. I just think is not. I mean, I don't think we have a say in that at all. I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
think government should be involved, and they should be just regulating some things, which I say about your time and about what abortion and making sure abortion clinics are ran properly, clean, and legal.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
the only part the government should have in it. Shouldn't have nothing to do with it. It's just something that I take like I don't agree with it. I don't agree with abortions at all. I don't. But I also believe stronger that just telling a woman that's gonna not only does she have to deal with her body,
Hmm.
bottom line is if the father doesn't want to be around, who's stuck?
The, the,
90,
the
I'd say high number mothers get stuck with those kids.
kids.
We're
Right.
not saying stuck in that marriage, but they have, no matter what the father does, if he stays and takes care of them or he leaves, the mother is the one that holds, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm
That is
saying.
holding.
The problem is like this is how biased the laws are. I mean, a man can walk away at any time.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. As soon as he knocks up the woman, you know what I mean? He can leave, disappear, claim it's not his, never talk to her again. There's no
You got to track him
repercussions for
down,
him.
get in court, get him
Yeah,
in
right.
court
Yeah,
and
yeah,
prove.
and they get him. But if at most he's got to pay some child support, right? And basically what you're saying is like to be a father, you could just hand off some money, and there you go. And then they'll say, well, then you could just adopt your kid. But me, sometimes I don't know. Adoption is a fate worse than be ever existing sometimes because you go into adoption and you might end up in a house where you're beaten and you know what I mean, like molested by parents that put on good foster parents that put on good face, and say this stuff. Because like I said, I have family who are in the foster system, and like I had an uncle who
Oh,
was a foster
bro,
parent.
that's
And
what
what
I'm a
saying.
product of that.
Right.
I'm a product of the system. I know how it works ins and outs
Yeah.
and how crazy that could be.
And that's what I'm saying is like so like any alternative you have. I mean, and also too the medical bills and all of those things. Because when are we claiming that this is a child? Like at the moment of conception? Because if so, the moment of conception, the man should be, because if it's a moment of conception, we say that it's a kid, right? It's a person. The baby is
Mhm.
the embryo is a person now. Then we then have to go, okay, and if we're not, we're gonna ban abortion, just say permanently, no one gets an abortion. Then at that point, the man has to take care of the baby.
Yeah, there
They
has to
both
be.
have to.
Yeah, and that's the thing though too.
But it's
And
unfavorable for both of them though, because you might be with a man that you had sex with that you don't like, and he doesn't like you, and you know what I mean, like to take care of this kid. I'm saying like the both parties involved, everything's unfavorable. But go ahead.
it would be like, yeah, it'd be like a legal scenario though, too.
Mm-hmm.
If, like, say what you said, one night stand happened. Maybe this female was trying to get pregnant for a long time and it happened. Now she goes to the dude with not the intent of saying, hey, she wants to give him the opportunity to say, um, I want to, help you out with the baby. That we don't have to be together, but I think, I want to be there. And she has the opportunity to either say, I don't want to keep the baby, or I want to keep the baby, but here's your, and then once he says, well, I don't want nothing to do with the baby, and then you have the conversation, maybe he doesn't want to do nothing with the baby now, but when he gets older and realizes it or whatever, some part of his life, maybe you guys can work that out legally where it could come, and talk about it. That's something that you tell the kids. All that stuff can be worked out with a mediator.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You could get that where it's all in writing. Everybody's rights are protected in that sense of what you're saying right there. But to me, like, if I don't know though, if a girl came to me and it was a one night, I wouldn't support it, bro, at all. If a
Yeah.
girl, I would be like, my view would be like, we're gonna have to keep this kid. It's just I'm not participating in an abortion. But if
Mm-hmm.
she kept saying to me, I'm not having this kid, where are
Right.
we at with it now?
Yeah. See, that's what I was about to say. Is like, let's focus on the me and you, like as we're two guys, right? Like, let's focus on the guy side of it as much as the women part of it, because
Right.
like how it affects me and you. Because if a woman looks at me and says she wants to have an abortion, like we have a kid, to me, it's not my choice. Like I don't get to make it for her. Do you know what I mean? Like I could look at her and I could express to her if I want to keep the child. Because me, honestly, I'm pro-choice till they throw dirt on me, basically. Because to me, I don't know. If my mom ever aborted me, you know how I'd feel about it? Nothing at all. That's all I'm saying. Like I wouldn't feel any way about it because I wouldn't. But I'm saying like if you're having a girl and you get her pregnant or whatever, that, and she doesn't want the kid, that's her choice. If she wants to have the kid, that's her choice. Like you know what I mean? Like because all I did is I dumped a load. You know what I mean? Like that's it. I dropped a load of laundry in the washer. You know what I mean? Like that's your choice. You want to put it in the dryer or whatever. Like I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Like if that's your choice.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, I believe in the part of how long it should take for a person to decide, because um if you don't know at like
I
20 or
agree.
whatever
Well,
the
yeah, no, I
cutoff
agree.
time, you don't know that means there's something wrong with how you're living your life. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? At that
right,
particular time, if you don't know you're pregnant.
right. Because I feel like whenever that happens, I mean, from my perspective, like say like my girlfriend comes to me 6 week pregnant, or no, we'll say like 8 weeks pregnant, right? She's like, I'm 8 weeks pregnant, blah blah blah. Okay, so she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the kid, right? And I think as soon as a girl finds out she's pregnant, I mean, I don't have to ask around, but like I feel like you already kind of know what you're thinking in your head, like how you feel about the whole situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Who,
Like
as
I
a
feel like
dude?
that. What's that?
As a dude? As a
No,
guy? You
as a
saying when
no,
the
well, as a
female comes
girl,
to
I'm
you?
I'm sure that's probably. I mean, you would have like a pretty like you just you'd hit with a bunch of emotions. But me, you know what I mean? Like I said, I mean, I already told you how I'm gonna feel. Like if a girl walked up to me and told me she's pregnant, I'm just gonna be. It's gonna be her decision if she wants to have an abortion or not. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna tell her how I feel about it. I'm gonna tell her, yeah, like maybe I disagree or no, I agree, whatever. But that's her choice at the end of the day. Like I'm not gonna tell her that. Like if I wanted to get my nuts snipped, do you know what I'm saying? Like that's not her choice. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm getting my nuts snipped. You know, like it's kind of
If
one of
you're,
those
what
deals.
about if you're married though?
If I was
What?
married,
It's
yeah,
kind of her choice.
yeah. Well,
It's
that's
not,
that's one of those things where like I don't agree with those kind of things. Just like the tubes tied thing that women
mhm.
are fighting because they can't get because there's women who don't. Just like that girl I was talking with about her views that was all over Facebook. Um, she says about that she wants to get her tubes tied now. She wants them tied. She don't want kids ever. And I'm like, and you know what? Even if she made that choice and she doesn't like, and say like later on in life she doesn't like that choice, it was her choice to make. Is what I'm saying. You can't just take people's choices away because oh they might not like it. Well, that's all right. You give them the choice. You give people. I think you give people rights and freedoms until they can be used irresponsibly in the sense where they hurt others. Not if you want to do damage to yourself. If you want to make choices that inflict upon you later down in life, that should be totally allowed. It shouldn't be that way. That's that's how I feel about that too.
Yeah, that would fall into just like drug abuse and all that. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, you shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Right.
That shouldn't be made criminal. I don't see anything. Actually, using drug is not criminal. That's
Mm-hmm.
how they say this. Using drugs is not criminal. Possessing them is.
So if
That's
you
how they
have
get
them,
it. Yeah,
so oh
that's
yeah,
how they
yeah,
get around it.
if you do them, that's not criminal. But if you have them, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So regardless, the whole drug thing is like that's a good tie-in though to what we're talking about a little bit because you legalize all drugs, and then let people make their choice. Do you know what I mean? Like I think people should have all the rights
To
until
do
they would
whatever.
do damage. Yeah,
You want
right.
to smoke meth?
Do it.
Smoke meth.
Meth. That's what I'm saying. But like you know what I mean, when the health repercussions of smoking meth come, where your teeth are rotting out and your skin is breaking out and you look like a fucking goddamn villain from fucking GI Joe, so you got to wear like a mask over your face or some shit. Well then, you know what I mean? That's you knew the dice, like you rolled the dice, you knew what was gonna happen. Like that's what I mean by the education system, because they teach us about drugs, like pretty much fifth grade onward, the fourth grade, as I remember, about drugs. Just very basic concepts. They stack that stuff on top. Mm-hmm. I feel like by eighth grade, I could probably. I mean, I probably wouldn't make the best decision, but I could by 18. By the adult age, I would have a grown up, pretty much decision of like, and I would know the repercussions of my choice. Is what I'm saying. I would have been taught the repercussions of my choices. So I think you roll the dice, you stop criminalizing it.
And I think those type of thing, and anything that has to do with all that stuff, what it has to do with I don't even see how it's even an issue, like where people are able to even entertain to put laws and anything. But what's happening though, even Dude came out and said it. I think he uses that for like his Trump came out and said something about the abortion thing, that he wasn't going to allow that to go in the way that they want it to go. He's more on the female side of how much time and stuff like that to give the person a chance to actually, and like I kind of think a person already knows too, like once they find out whether they really want to do it, it's not going to take that long for them to decide whether they want to do it or not.
No, yeah.
In my experience, from my experience of what I've seen with all the pregnant people and their situations in my lifetime, it didn't take long for them to say, I don't want this baby, or you know what I mean? Not like weeks. It happened within a
literally days. Like 2 or 3 days, you were like, yeah. Because I don't know. Like I could take a personal inventory, look around at my life, and I would just be like, yeah, like I'm not in a position where I could be taking care of a child, or and that's like one of my things too. Is like me personally, like I don't think that's why like I avoid relationships with where a girl already has a kid and stuff, is because I'm not in my point in my life where I am financially or mentally ready to be someone's like some kid's father. And maybe no one really is. I know. You're a father, so you could explain this to me better. I don't think. Did you feel ready to be a father, like whenever the thing came?
No.
But you were just like, oh, I got to do this, right?
Yeah, you got to do things that you know what I mean. You're kind of like winging it because you don't really realize. I have mine's young too, though, so you don't really realize it. Some people do, some people don't.
Yeah. Well,
depends on baby probably what they've seen in their life and how they were raised.
Right, because I always wondered like how many kids are like surprises and how many are planned. I feel like the surprises outweigh the plans. Like most times
let's
you're
do
just
a poll.
bestowed. You do yeah. Well, we can set up a poll on the page. Like, was your kid a surprise or was he planned?
Or because just a question how you put it.
Yeah, right.
Is there more? Do you think pregnancies are more planned or accidents happen? Accidents.
Yeah. Because I would dare to say that I think it has to be more planned or surprises.
I think it's more surprises.
That's what. Yeah.
Like the surprise. Like we'll definitely find somebody. to sit down and talk more in depth, like you said before, and I've agreed too that we should have a female that maybe has been in that position, or if she hasn't or has a strong opinion on it and just knows,
Yeah.
she's the female and she knows what she's feeling and giving her opinion on what it is before we
Yeah.
got any deeper into it,
Yeah.
because it's a touchy thing.
Yeah, it would be even crazier if we got a pro-life and a pro-choice girl on this stream at the same time.
And they just got up here and start going at it. We'd be like eating chips, like
Be like,
get the
I didn't say
popcorn 'cause
shit.
It's going
Just my
down.
hands are up.
Oh, they go down. That and vaccines, I think, to be honest,
It's like
is
like
ahead of
women
racism.
It's
is
it's racism.
Is ahead of racism in the bickering on like
Yeah.
how bad it gets.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We
right.
already it gets bad with the vaccine people. It's bad, bro.
I agree. That's and I'm saying that especially for women though. Like I will see them post memes about not vaccinating their kids and stuff. Like I'll see them post more of those memes than like I would. Do you know what I'm saying? Those like you should vaccinate your kids thing, and I also see the memes about the abortion thing.
Well, yeah, the Throwback Thursday I think I threw up last week was with the one that we did with Katrina. She's one that goes in those groups and has those conversations. She's always talking about it, posting it on her feed. So I know she's in those conversations all day. Like how rough she got. I think she took it easy on us in that
right.
that episode, or she was a little uncomfortable, like we talked about before, maybe being in front of a camera, not really knowing us. It was early. We didn't have a lot of content showing how we would be with the guest or be with a female guest on something like this. So I think she was more didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I even told you too. Is I was all ready to do that approach where I just start throwing it, but then I thought about it. I was like, we're not getting anywhere if we just start. Yeah, because we're going to divulge into an argument basically.
Right.
To where nothing's going to get conversated. Yo, there is a big ass jumping spider up on my wall right now. This thing looks like it's ready to fuck me up.
What is a jumping spider?
Jumping spider, bro? I'll show you. Here, hold on.
I don't want to. No, I'm scared of the motherfuckers.
Where's he at? Oh god, he probably jumped. He jumped, bro.
Oh, we know where Dev lives at. We're coming to get you. You better not get your warrior. You better not get your warrior keyboard warrior on. They got the footage now.
They know, like, hey, his house back of the house looks like that.
They know where to find you. Oh, I see something funny. Speaking of, yeah, we'll just definitely get another conversation. We'll get somebody on here. Keep looking for somebody to talk about, and then we'll get more into that. But did you see over the weekend? Man, this is crazy to me. If I'm fucking Terminator, and I'm out and about, and I get drop kicked by somebody in the back of my head, and my security did not see that coming, man. Some heads are gonna roll, man. How are you, Terminator, out there watching it? You're out in the community in South Africa watching some athletes, just enjoying yourself, probably doing some global work, some good deed work, and somebody just runs. Did you see the video, bro?
No, I didn't get to watch it. I just saw the headline of it. And the guy walks up,
caught him. He caught him with a solid drop kick in the back. He fell over into a crowd of young kids.
Who filmed it? Was Arnold like on his phone filming something, or was like did the guy like have his camera in his hand as he dropped?
No, somebody was standing there filming Arnold while he was like signing things, and he was getting some. And no somebody shit. Just can't. You could see him come and just like his. It's so hilarious. The footage people got great footage. They kept it nice and still too. Like how some happens, they pull up or they get all crazy and it shaking. This person had a good. They were right there on top of it.
They were on top of their shit. They knew what they were talking about. They're like, we got to get this shot. This is our money shot. They were probably thinking, like, this is that thing that's going to get me famous. You there?
You're thinking what?
I said that's what's going to... They were probably sitting there thinking that's what's going to get them famous. They were like, yeah, this is the shot right here.
Hey! It might be like, dude, you just drop kicked Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. they'll be on TMZ like with that footage, and be like, "Who's the guy who got that footage? We need him as a TMZ cameraman." And there you go. You just got yourself a fucking gig, man. Rest of your life.
Be like, damn, you held your composure. And if it's the dude, yeah, it maybe they, yeah. Or were you saying they set it up? Maybe they set it up. They're in cahoots. He's like, yo, I'm gonna stand right here.
Here's
by
10
him,
grand.
and you just run across here and kick the shit out of him.
That's what I'm saying. TMZ was like, "Here's 10 grand. Drop kick Arnold Schwarzenegger. This guy,
Oh,
what?
if TMZ was paying people to do
That's
dumb
what I'm saying.
shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, they're paying him the money, and like Arnold's like sitting there, sign it, pay him 10 grand to do it. They have a cameraman who he works with a different company, but he's also getting paid by TMZ, and they're like, bam, smack him right in the head, and like, all right, you get paid. And he's in South Africa, right? So that's not even in this country. The repercussions, that motherfucker probably ran away,
No.
and Arnold's like, I don't even know who he is.
He's probably he's viral over in South Africa right now for doing that.
He's a legend, probably.
Both of
Do
them.
people in South Africa
having
like
the
not like
footage.
Arnold or something? Like, is there like some kind of beef we don't know about where like Arnold's over there?
There might be. There might be some beef. But the main thing that I'm worried about if I'm Arnold is when I get out of the main site of everybody, man, I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? I'm walking out here with security. Am I gonna get killed? He could have killed me.
Like that guy, like a guy could have just walked up and went bam, and that could have
Yeah.
been like the end of it for him. But it's like
Because
yeah.
it was slow, bro. You could see the dude. You could see how it was developed in a kick, and then his security's probably like 2 seconds behind because he's off camera. So I don't know how far he was away from him, but when he responded and yoked him up and shit, Arnold's already fucking laid out. It was
Man,
great.
when your heroes die, man, they die hard. Like
You're like, damn, Terminator.
yeah, like
Kindergarten
Arnold,
cop.
Arnold, like you a bitch, Arnold. Like you just got dropped. You know, we gotta.
Yeah,
I
he
just
got
remember.
kicked.
I remember Terminator Genesis just came out like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. That was the last one.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny though. That's hilarious. Wait, we got one more thing.
He'll be all right, man.
We
It'll
gotta
be
talk
all right.
about
He's
the
got to
goats.
get clowned. He's been getting.
We gotta talk about.
Oh
the
yeah.
goats.
Yeah,
You're
the
telling me
fucking
about a
goat
lady.
thing. That's what's popping. You're breaking up bad, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not you, it's me. Get it? You said we're breaking up bad. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, just
I
make
can
sure.
hear.
By the way, Verizon, I want 10 grand for that. That right there. I just said, can you hear me now? I want 10 grand for that.
Yeah, just start sending. What we need to do before we get into the GOAT is I was thinking about this.
Mhm.
Every time we mention something like a product, let's just start sending them invoices and say that we said it on our show, that you got to pay us for the invoice on that. And see, who knows? Maybe they might not go see if they got some paperwork with us on our show. It might just send us the you know what I mean, the invoice for it.
They might just be like, hey, all right, here you go. Like they just go, yeah, fine, we'll pay you.
You got to be proactive, bro. We'll just send them the invoice and say, hey, Deb just said, you know, some Verizon shit. Here's $50,000. $50,000.
I don't know, man. Ubisoft donated 100 grand to the Cathedral rebuild, a gaming company, because they used to make or it was like $500,000 or something. The gaming company donated to the cathedral that burnt down, the Notre Dame, and that's because they had a game that was like based out of like ancient France or whatever. And that's what I was saying was like, we could get it, you know, maybe because maybe a company would just be like, fuck it, throw them some money.
Yeah, they don't even fucking know. They might be like, yeah, we're not going through all this to find out. Just fucking sign it.
Just sign it. Just sign it.
Just sign it. And
Just
send
sign a
it-
bunch of
send it the
papers,
check.
like sign them.
Sign the check. Yo. We might be able to. That might be our come up and slide under the radar. We could go make tutorials and be like, hey, we found out how we got sponsored
Paid.
by.
We'll get a class, and like all it is just showing them how to spam. Just spam a corporate office with a bunch of papers and tell them they have to sign them.
Oh my god! Because we would be like, we have our followers are low as shit, right? Views. We would get. We'd have that program say, see how we got this much, and this much from these big companies and sponsorship only having this much viewership. It'd be like, it'll cut, bro. Tell me that ain't a market thing right there. It'd be like, you got to pay us like $10,000 to come into the class and get as much as we can, and then have a class and just say, all you got to do is just send invoices to everybody you want to check from.
Yeah, right. It's like they make them pay like $140 a class, and it's only like one video that's like 3 minutes long.
It's like, just send, or just send invoices.
They would
to
feel
everybody and
scammed.
hope.
They would feel so scammed. People like, well, you paid. Like, there's no refund. Sorry. Like, there you
But
go.
we wouldn't be lying because
That's
we
true.
did it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We learn how to make $50,000. Pay for our course. It's
Right.
1 minute. It's one video, 3 minutes long.
And then all we would have to do is all the invoices that we did, we would actually show their product in our thing. So when they go back over it and say, we didn't have no agreement with these guys, be like, yo, we said your product. You sent us the money.
You said
What
you
happened?
signed here, said endorsement for 50,000. You said it right here on the sheet we sent
What's
you.
going on? I'm with it. That's our
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 lane.
move.
That's our next lane. We just
That's
we're
our
gonna-
that's our, that could that's our marketing meeting's over right now. We just had our marketing meeting.
All right, and now okay. So you talk about this goat lady with goats.
I think she only has one.
She has a goat, and she's
A
taking
goat.
pictures with it, and she's getting famous because of the goat.
The goat has 83,000 followers. She's making videos where I think she calls it Billy the goat. She dresses it up, puts glasses on it, just talks to it. People are on the live having conversations with this girl about this goat. People are going out making videos saying they got a goat. You know what I'm saying?
They got a goat
inner
because she got a
city-
goat.
Huh?
They got a goat because she got a goat.
Because she's whatever. She just so whatever it is. That's why I say that the internet, I love it, because she's going to get a bag out of this in some form or manner.
Because she got a goat.
Because she has a
'Cause she
goat
got a
and
goat.
she's dressing up, talking
Goat.
to it.
And talking to it like now is she talking to it like a pet, or is she talking to it like My Strange Addictions or whatever, and it's like the chick who fucks roller coasters kind of talk? Like, what are we talking about here?
She's talking to it like it's her kid, like it's like
Oh.
her buddy. Like
Actually,
she talks in different forms. Not weird. It's not crazy weird, but she's just talking to it like it's having conversations with her.
No, that's what I was gonna say is actually a baby goat is called a kid, so that's kind of funny.
Oh, a baby goat is called a kid.
It's called a kid, yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see where it goes. I don't get mad at people that do shit like this and then get to where they gotta go. That just says, hey, whenever we come up with throw shit against the wall until something sticks and you can get your lane in. You know what I mean?
Pretty
As
much,
long as
and
it ain't hurt nobody. Huh?
We can do that, Coach. We just got to think of what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll get snakes and we'll put top hats on them. Or,
What the fuck is that gonna? How is that snake gonna talk?
right, and then we'll just talk to the snake like it's a person
let
and be
it
like, "Hey,
slither.
what's up, bro?" And he's like, he'll
I
just slither
can't
around
do
my
snake.
neck, and I'll have like a top hat on. We'll call him Mr. Charleston or something.
You just
I don't
put
know.
some you do some overlays with some words talking to this motherfucker.
Yeah, right. I'll put some subtitles like he's actually talking back to us or something.
Nah, yeah, I mean that's just what it is. I love it. I love that you're able to just get on one day and then you can get yourself in a position to get a bag.
Totes, my goats. So make sure everybody you tote your goats to get paid. That's how you do it. Internet.
Yeah, just don't go out and get a goat. To me, I think she takes very well care. That goat has nothing. It's probably eat well. It's probably just in a environment it's not used to, but it's probably taken care of very well. So nobody go out there and get goats and think it's like the next fad. Like somebody's gonna be carrying a baby goat in Hollywood in their fucking
Purse.
Louis bag and shit. You know?
Ew. I've had pigmy goats as a kid. Man, them
Mm-hmm.
they just shit everywhere, man. You don't want a goat. You don't.
No, I don't. I don't even want to. I don't even want a dog. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is what it is.
It is what it is till it ain't. That's a lyric from a Mac Miller song that I like. All right,
Miller,
well,
yeah,
ladies and gentlemen,
man.
Coach, you got anything
Oh,
else?
one more question. What about that, dudes? Did you listen to Logic's album?
No.
You don't like Logic?
No, I mean, I like Logic. I just like I don't know, like rap artists. I don't know why. I don't really ever go out of my way to go listen to like their new stuff all the time. Like, I only have a couple artists where it's like that. It's like J. Cole. If he comes out with something, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta listen to that. My buddy, like the guy, the Lion that I've been with since like like day 17 or something. I don't know, whatever day it was. I wasn't there day one, but I did come whenever he was relatively new, and I listen to his stuff when it comes out. I don't really have a lot of people like I follow right away, so like I don't even know that Logic had a new album. I mean, I'll go give it a listen or two, but
That song he's got with Eminem is ridiculous. Remember, real quick before we head out. Remember that what's the dude that goes on his live and he was always pretending to be how Eminem. He's an actor, and he be like he imitates how Eminem rhymes and was saying some shit.
yeah,
So they got him to come on the song with Eminem, and he's at the they
he's at
have
the
him
end.
at the end saying the shit, doing that shit that he did in the car after Eminem's verse, and M's hitting that shit how he hits it in the verse. The song's dope as fuck. I like it.
Okay, well I'll go give it a listen.
Go
I'll
check
give
it
you
out.
my
I think it's
feedback.
called Homicide.
Yep, and we'll be sending those papers to Logic and Eminem, and
Yes.
they'll be signing that for our endorsement for $50,000.
Just sign them. Any company that gets an invoice for Mediated Media, Bridging the Gap, Coach B, or Dev,
Devin.
and it comes in the Gingerlicious fucking Gmail account.
Gingerlicious
Sign
Gmail
that
account.
shit.
Sign it over, take it. You'll never,
Sign it.
you
Don't
won't
ask
regret it.
questions.
Just sign it.
fucking sign it.
All right. As always, stay beautiful, everybody. Take care of yourselves. We are out of here. I'm gonna eat this vanilla wafer later.